Imagine standing at a crossroads in life where the weight of past experiences feels heavy on your shoulders. It's easy to let those burdens define you, to feel trapped by memories that no longer serve your spirit. But what if I told you that this moment, right now, can be the beginning of a beautiful transformation? Embracing divine guidance can lead you to a place of renewal, strength, and joy. Even in the later stages of life, as we journey through the years, we often carry the scars of our past, regrets, disappointments, and fears. Yet, within each of us lies the power to break free from these chains. It's never too late to seek a new path, to open your heart to the whispers of inspiration that surround you. When you allow yourself to let go of what no longer serves you, you create space for something extraordinary to enter your life. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of purpose, feeling the warmth of hope fill your heart. This is the magic of embracing divine guidance. It's about trusting that there is a greater plan for you, one that leads to joy and fulfillment. As you step into this new chapter, you will discover a wellspring of strength within you, a resilience that can carry you through any challenge. The beauty of transformation is that it can happen at any age. Life is not a straight path. It's a winding journey filled with opportunities for growth and renewal. By choosing to release the past and embrace the present, you open yourself to a world of possibilities. You can find joy in the little things, strength in your vulnerability, and a renewed sense of self that shines brightly. So take a deep breath and let go of the burdens that weigh you down. Embrace the divine guidance that is always available to you. Trust in the journey ahead and allow yourself to be transformed. The best is yet to come, and it's time to step into the light of a new beginning. As we move into our 60s and 70s, life can become a beautiful journey filled with peace and joy. This time can be a chance to embrace what truly matters and let go of things that weigh us down. Many of us carry burdens from our past, like worries about work, relationships, or even regrets. But as we age, we can learn to release these unnecessary weights and focus on what brings us happiness. Letting go does not mean forgetting our experiences. Instead, it means understanding that we have the power to choose how they affect us. We can decide to focus on the good memories and the lessons learned, rather than the pain or disappointment. This shift in thinking can open up space in our hearts and minds for joy and peace to enter. Finding joy in simple things can be one of the most rewarding parts of this stage in life. It might be enjoying a warm cup of tea in the morning, taking a walk in nature, or spending time with loved ones. These small moments can bring great happiness and remind us of the beauty around us. By focusing on what makes us smile, we can fill our days with light and laughter. This period can also be a time to explore new interests or hobbies, whether it's painting, gardening, or learning a new skill. Engaging in activities that excite us can bring a sense of fulfillment. It's about discovering what makes our hearts sing and allowing ourselves the freedom to pursue those passions without the pressure of deadlines or expectations. As we let go of the burdens that no longer serve us, we create room for new experiences and connections. We can build deeper relationships with family and friends, sharing our stories and wisdom. This sharing can create a sense of community and belonging, which is essential for our well-being. In this chapter of life, embracing peace and joy is not just a choice, it's a gift we give ourselves. By mastering the art of letting go, we can transform our lives into a celebration of what truly matters. We can find happiness in the present moment and appreciate the journey we have traveled. This time can be filled with love, laughter, and a deep sense of fulfillment, making it one of the most rewarding chapters of our lives. As we reach the age of 60 and beyond, it is natural to think about our descendants and their future. However, worrying excessively about them can take a toll on our emotional well-being. Old wisdom teaches us that life is a journey filled with ups and downs, and it is essential to find a balance between caring for our loved ones and allowing them to grow independently. When we become overly involved in the lives of our children or grandchildren, we may unintentionally drain our own emotional energy. This relentless concern can lead to stress and anxiety, making it harder for us to enjoy our own lives. Instead of focusing on every detail of their lives, we should remember that they too have their paths to walk. Just as we learn from our own experiences, they will learn from theirs. Rather than fixating on leaving behind a financial legacy, we can focus on teaching timeless virtues like self-discipline and resilience. These qualities are far more valuable than material wealth. When we instill these virtues in our descendants, we equip them with the tools they need to navigate life's challenges. They will learn to stand on their own feet, make wise decisions, and face adversity with strength. In this way, we can shift our focus from worry to wisdom. By letting go of excessive concern, we free ourselves to enjoy our later years while still being a guiding presence in our descendants' lives. We can share our stories, offer advice when asked, and celebrate their successes without feeling the weight of their burdens. Ultimately, the best legacy we can leave is not just financial support, but a foundation of values that will help our loved ones thrive. Embracing this perspective allows us to live more fully and joyfully, knowing that we have done our part in shaping the future without losing ourselves in worry. In a small town, there lived a woman named Clara who was known for her kindness. She always went out of her way to help others, whether it was lending a hand to a neighbor or donating to local charities. Clara believed that being generous was the right thing to do, and she took pride in her ability to make others feel better. However, her heart was so big that it sometimes led her to make poor choices. One day, a man named Tom approached Clara. He was down on his luck and needed money to pay his rent. Clara, feeling sympathy for his situation, gave him a significant amount of money without asking many questions. She thought she was doing a good deed, but as time went on, she noticed that Tom kept coming back for more help. Each time, he had a new story about why he needed money, and Clara, wanting to be kind, continued to give. Eventually, Clara found herself in a difficult position. She had given away so much that her own finances were suffering. She had to cut back on her own needs, and her friends began to worry about her. They pointed out that Tom was taking advantage of her generosity, but Clara struggled to see it. She believed that kindness should have no limits, and she didn't want to turn her back on someone in need. It wasn't until Tom disappeared one day, leaving Clara with nothing but empty promises, that she realized the consequences of her excessive generosity. She felt betrayed and hurt, not just by Tom, but by her own inability to set boundaries. Clara learned that kindness is important, but it must be balanced with discernment. Being generous does not mean giving everything away without thought. From that experience, Clara began to understand the importance of setting limits. She still wanted to help others, but she learned to ask questions and to be more cautious. She started volunteering her time instead of her money, which allowed her to help without putting herself at risk. Clara discovered that true kindness sometimes means saying no or offering support in a way that protects her own well-being. Clara's story serves as a reminder that while kindness is a beautiful quality, it is essential to be discerning in our acts of generosity. We must protect ourselves from being exploited while still helping those in need. It's okay to care deeply for others, but we should also care for ourselves. Finding that balance is key to ensuring that our kindness is both genuine and sustainable. In relationships with close family and friends, it's easy to fall into the trap of excessive optimism. We often want to believe the best in those we care about, hoping for strong connections and unwavering support. However, being overly hopeful without setting clear boundaries can leave us emotionally vulnerable. When we expect too much from others, we may overlook their flaws or the reality of the situation. This can lead to feelings of betrayal if they don't meet our expectations, leaving us hurt and disappointed. It's important to maintain kindness and compassion in our relationships, but we also need to practice caution. Setting boundaries helps protect our emotional well-being. By being clear about what we need and what we can give, we create a healthier dynamic. This doesn't mean we should stop being hopeful or loving. Rather, we should balance our optimism with a realistic understanding of ourselves and others. This way, we can enjoy our relationships while also safeguarding our hearts from potential pain. Nurturing our connections with care and awareness allows us to build stronger, more resilient relationships. We can be kind and hopeful, but we must also be mindful of our emotional needs. This balance helps us preserve our well-being and fosters healthier interactions with those we love. In today's world, it can be easy to get caught up in the idea of socializing and making as many friends as possible. Social media often encourages this mindset, where we see people with large numbers of followers or friends and feel the pressure to do the same. However, it is important to remember that not all connections are meaningful. In fact, true friendships are rare and valuable. When we focus too much on quantity, we may end up forming shallow relationships that lack depth and support. These kinds of connections can leave us feeling lonely, even when we are surrounded by many people. True friendships, on the other hand, are built on trust, understanding, and genuine care for one another. They provide us with a sense of belonging and comfort during tough times. Nurturing meaningful relationships takes time and effort, but the rewards are worth it. It is better to have a few close friends who truly understand and support you than to have many acquaintances who do not. By prioritizing quality over quantity, we can create a network of people who enrich our lives and help us grow. In the end, it is the depth of our connections that truly matters. So, let us focus on building and maintaining those special relationships that bring joy and support into our lives. Prioritizing relatives over other meaningful relationships can sometimes lead to unexpected challenges. While family ties are often seen as the most important connections in our lives, putting them above all else can create a sense of obligation that may not always be healthy. For instance, when we feel we must always support family members, we might overlook friends who offer genuine support and understanding. This can lead to feelings of disappointment when family members do not reciprocate our efforts or when their actions do not align with our values. Moreover, placing too much emphasis on family can sometimes open the door to exploitation. Some relatives may take advantage of our loyalty and willingness to help, expecting us to always be there for them without considering our own needs. This can create a one-sided relationship where we feel drained and unappreciated. It's important to recognize that not all family relationships are nurturing or positive, and sometimes stepping back can be necessary for our well-being. To find a balance, it's essential to nurture friendships that bring mutual respect and support. These relationships can provide a different kind of love and understanding that may not always be present in family dynamics. By investing time in friendships, we create a support system that is based on choice rather than obligation. It's helpful to communicate openly with both family and friends about our needs and boundaries. This way, we can maintain healthy relationships that enrich our lives without feeling overwhelmed by family expectations. In conclusion, while family is important, it's crucial to recognize the value of other meaningful relationships. By balancing our time and energy between family and friends, we can create a more fulfilling and supportive network that enhances our overall happiness. As people approach retirement, saving money becomes increasingly important. This period of life often brings changes in income, as many individuals transition from regular paychecks to relying on savings and pensions. Having a solid financial foundation can provide a sense of security that is essential for enjoying these later years. When individuals have saved enough, they can face the future with confidence, knowing they have the resources to cover their needs. Financial security plays a crucial role in ensuring peace of mind. When retirees know they have enough money to support themselves, they can focus on enjoying their time rather than worrying about how to pay for everyday expenses. This sense of stability is especially important when it comes to unexpected medical emergencies. Health issues can arise at any time, and having a financial cushion allows individuals to seek the care they need without the added stress of financial strain. This means they can prioritize their health and well-being, which is vital for a fulfilling retirement. Moreover, having a safety net is essential for maintaining independence. Many retirees wish to live on their own terms, whether that means staying in their homes or traveling to new places. Financial security enables them to make choices that align with their desires, rather than being forced into situations due to a lack of funds. This independence contributes to a more enjoyable retirement lifestyle, allowing individuals to pursue hobbies, spend time with family, and engage in activities that bring them joy. In summary, saving money as one approaches retirement is not just about having enough to get by. It is about creating a life filled with peace of mind, health, and independence. A well-planned financial future allows retirees to face challenges with confidence and enjoy their golden years to the fullest. Health is often described as the most precious wealth we can possess. Without good health, all the riches in the world mean little. When we prioritize our health, we are investing in our future, ensuring that we can enjoy life to the fullest. Especially as we grow older, a holistic approach to health is essential, as it encompasses not just physical well-being, but also mental and emotional balance. To maintain good health, regular exercise is crucial. It keeps our bodies strong and our minds sharp. Whether it's a brisk walk, a dance class, or yoga, moving our bodies helps us feel more energetic and alive. Alongside exercise, proper rest is equally important. Sleep is the time our bodies repair and recharge, allowing us to face each day with renewed vigor. A balanced diet plays a vital role in our health as well. Eating a variety of foods rich in nutrients fuels our bodies and supports our immune systems. It's not just about eating less or cutting out certain foods. It's about making mindful choices that nourish us. Positive thinking is another key element of a holistic health approach. Our mindset can greatly influence our overall well-being. When we focus on the good in our lives and practice gratitude, we create a more joyful and fulfilling existence. By managing our health proactively, we set ourselves up for a vibrant and fulfilling life in our later years. It's about making small, consistent choices every day that lead to big changes over time. When we take care of ourselves now, we are laying the foundation for a happier, healthier future. In conclusion, let us remember that health is indeed our greatest wealth. By embracing a holistic approach that includes exercise, proper rest, a balanced diet, and positive thinking, we can enjoy a life full of vitality and joy. As family members grow older, it is common for relationships to face new challenges. Managing one's temper becomes especially important during this time. Patience, empathy, and understanding are key ingredients for keeping family bonds strong and healthy. When we take the time to listen and truly understand what our loved ones are going through, we create an environment where everyone feels valued and respected. Anger or criticism can easily disrupt these relationships. When we react with frustration, it can lead to hurt feelings and misunderstandings. This not only affects the person we are upset with, but can also create a ripple effect, causing tension among other family members. Over time, these negative interactions can diminish the quality of life for everyone involved. Instead of enjoying each other's company, family gatherings can become stressful and filled with conflict. By practicing patience, we allow ourselves to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Empathy helps us to see things from our loved ones' perspectives, making it easier to connect with them on a deeper level. Understanding their struggles and challenges can foster a sense of compassion that strengthens our relationships. When we approach our family members with kindness, we create a peaceful atmosphere where love and support can flourish. In the end, managing our temper is not just about controlling our emotions. It's about nurturing the bonds that hold our family together. By choosing patience, empathy, and understanding, we can ensure that our relationships remain harmonious. And as we journey through life, especially as we approach our golden years, it becomes increasingly important to reflect on the habits we cultivate. The choices we make today can significantly shape our quality of life after 60. It's easy to fall into routines that may seem harmless at first, but over time, they can lead to challenges that affect our health and happiness. Imagine waking up each day feeling vibrant and full of energy, ready to embrace all that life has to offer. Well, by making small, positive changes now, like eating healthier, staying active, and nurturing our relationships, we can pave the way for a rewarding and peaceful life in our later years. It's never too late to start. Each step you take towards a healthier lifestyle is a step towards a brighter future. Let's choose to let go of harmful habits that weigh us down and instead embrace the joy of living fully. Golden years can be a time of adventure, learning, and connection. By prioritizing our well-being, we can ensure that this chapter of our lives is filled with laughter, love, and fulfillment. So, let's commit to making choices that uplift us and inspire those around us. Together, we can create a vibrant journey that we will cherish for years to come. Thank you for joining us in exploring the profound themes of love, hard work, and the essence of life as we age. As we wrap up this segment, let's take a moment to reflect on the story of a 68-year-old man who has journeyed through solitude, shaped by an unforgettable love and the dedication of a lifetime. In his quiet moments, he finds unexpected joy and a sense of belonging in retirement, reminding us all of the importance of family and purpose in our later years. Now, as we transition to our next topic, we invite you to delve deeper into the heart of what truly matters as we age. What lessons can we learn from those who have walked this path before us? Join us as we uncover more stories that illuminate the beauty of life's later chapters and the connections that sustain us. Stay tuned, because there's so much more to discover. Juan is a 68-year-old man who spends his days in quiet solitude. His small, cluttered apartment is filled with memories, but it often feels empty. He has never married, and the silence around him is a constant reminder of the life he chose not to live. As he looks back on his years, he is filled with regret, especially when he thinks of Fong, his high school friend, and the love of his life. Fong was bright and full of dreams, just like Juan. They shared a bond that was deep and meaningful, built on laughter and hopes of a better future. Together, they dreamed of escaping the poverty that surrounded them, imagining a life where they could study at university and make something of themselves. They would often sit under the old banyan tree, talking about their aspirations and the adventures that awaited them. But when the time came to take the university entrance exams, their dreams were crushed. Neither of them passed, and that moment changed everything. After that, their paths diverged. Phong moved away to find work, while Quan stayed behind, feeling lost and defeated. The love he had for her lingered in his heart, shaping his choices and his life. He often wondered what could have been if they had succeeded. The regret of not pursuing his dreams alongside her haunted him, and he found it hard to connect with others. His life became a series of missed opportunities, and he often replayed the moments they shared, wishing he could turn back time. Now, as he sits alone, Quan reflects on the love that defined him. Phong remains a vivid memory, a bittersweet reminder of what he lost. He realizes that his profound love for her was both a blessing and a curse, guiding him through life, but also leaving him with a sense of longing that never faded. In his heart, he knows that their dreams may have been shattered, but the love they shared will always be a part of him. Phong's arranged marriage was a heavy burden placed upon her by her parents, who believed they knew what was best for her future. From the moment she said "I do," her dreams began to fade. She felt trapped in a life that was not her own, filled with expectations and obligations that left little room for her true self. The joy of love and companionship was replaced by a sense of duty, and her heart ached for the freedom she had lost. Quan, who had loved Phong deeply, found it hard to accept this new reality. He had always imagined a life with her, filled with laughter, shared dreams, and quiet moments together. The thought of her being with someone else was unbearable. He often replayed memories of their time together, wishing he could turn back the clock and change the course of their lives. Each day without her felt like a weight on his chest, and he struggled to find meaning in a world that seemed so empty without her presence. When Phong passed away in her early 40s, it felt as if the light had been snuffed out of Quan's life. All the dreams he had held on to, the plans they had made, vanished in an instant. The pain of her loss was overwhelming, and he found himself lost in a sea of sorrow. He could not imagine loving anyone else. Phong had been his everything. The thought of starting over felt impossible, and he resigned himself to a solitary life, believing that no one could ever fill the void she left behind. As the years went by, Quan learned to live with his grief, but the ache of Phong's absence never truly faded. He wandered through life like a ghost, haunted by memories of what could have been. The laughter they shared, the dreams they built together, all became distant echoes in his mind. In his heart, he knew that he would always carry the weight of her loss, a reminder of the love that was never fully realized. In the end, Quan found solace in the quiet moments, accepting that he would walk this path alone, forever marked by the love he had lost. Quan began his career as a construction worker in his early 20s. He was eager to learn and poured himself into his work, often staying late to perfect his skills. He learned how to read blueprints, operate heavy machinery, and manage different tasks on the job site. His dedication did not go unnoticed. Over the years, he became known for his technical skills and strong work ethic, which earned him respect among his peers and supervisors. As he gained experience, Quan secured a formal contract with a reputable construction company. This was a turning point in his career. With steady work and a reliable income, he was able to save money. He lived simply, avoiding unnecessary expenses, and focused on his goal of owning a home. After several years of hard work and saving, he finally bought a modest house in the city. It was not grand, but it was his, and it provided him with a sense of stability and accomplishment. However, despite this material success, Quan felt an emotional void. He had dedicated so much of his life to his work that he often found himself feeling lonely. After retiring at the age of 60, he struggled to fill his days. The routine that had once given him purpose was gone, and he found it difficult to adjust to a life without the structure of work. The house he had worked so hard to buy felt empty, and he missed the camaraderie of his colleagues and the satisfaction of completing a project. As the days turned into months, Quan realized that while he had built a stable life, he had neglected to build connections outside of work. The emotional emptiness lingered, reminding him that stability in life is not just about material possessions, but also about relationships and fulfillment. Quan's early retirement years were a time of significant change. After spending decades in a busy work environment, he found himself at home, surrounded by silence. The transition was not easy for him. He had always been used to the hustle and bustle of his job, where he interacted with colleagues and felt a sense of purpose. Now, the stillness of his home often felt heavy, and he struggled with feelings of loneliness. Without close family nearby, the days sometimes felt long and empty. Quan missed the laughter and warmth of family gatherings. His nieces and nephews lived far away, and their visits were infrequent. He often thought about how nice it would be to have them around, sharing stories and enjoying meals together. Instead, he found himself spending many evenings alone, watching the sun set outside his window. To cope with this new reality, Quan began to establish simple daily routines. He found joy in shopping for fresh vegetables at the local market. The vibrant colors and fresh smells brought a little life back into his days. He learned to cook basic meals, experimenting with different ingredients and flavors. This not only filled his stomach but also gave him a sense of accomplishment. Each meal he prepared felt like a small victory. As he settled into his new life, Quan also made an effort to connect with other retirees in his neighborhood. He joined a local group that met regularly for coffee and conversation. These interactions helped him feel less isolated. Sharing stories and experiences with others who understood his situation brought him comfort. Slowly, he began to build a new community, one that filled some of the gaps left by his family's absence. Through these simple routines and new connections, Quan started to adapt to his retirement. While he still felt moments of loneliness, he learned to appreciate the quiet and found joy in the small things. The stillness of his home became a space for reflection. In the third winter of his retirement, Quan fell gravely ill. It started with a chill that crept into his bones, followed by a fever that left him shivering and drenched in sweat. Alone in his small apartment, he struggled to get out of bed, feeling weak and helpless. The days blurred together as he fought against the illness, his body aching and his mind clouded. He had always prided himself on his independence, but now, in his solitude, he felt the weight of his choices pressing down on him. As he lay there, he couldn't shake the fear of dying unnoticed. The thought haunted him, making his heart race even more than the fever. He imagined what it would be like for his neighbors to find him days later, a forgotten figure in a quiet room. The silence around him felt suffocating, and he reflected on the loneliness that had become a part of his life. He had chosen to live alone, thinking it was a sign of strength, but now he saw it as a vulnerability. The isolation that once felt comforting now seemed like a prison. Friends had often suggested he find companionship, hire help, or even move into a nursing home. They worried about him, urging him to consider the risks of living alone, especially as he grew older. But Quan had brushed off their concerns, believing he could manage on his own. Now, in his feverish state, he realized how foolish he had been. The idea of having someone nearby, someone to check in on him, felt like a lifeline he had ignored for too long. As he lay there, he thought about the warmth of human connection, the simple joy of sharing a meal or a conversation. He longed for the laughter of friends, the comfort of knowing someone cared. The near-death experience opened his eyes to the dangers of solitude, and he understood that independence should not come at the cost of companionship. He vowed to change his ways, to reach out, and embrace the support of others. No matter how difficult it felt. In that moment of vulnerability, Quan found clarity. He realized that life was not just about surviving alone, but about sharing moments with others. The fear of dying unnoticed became a catalyst for change, pushing him to seek the connections he had once taken for granted. As the Mid-Autumn Festival approached, Quan was busy with his work in the city, feeling the weight of his responsibilities. One evening, he received a call from his youngest brother, who excitedly invited him back to the countryside to celebrate the festival with the family. This unexpected invitation filled Quan with joy and nostalgia. He remembered the warmth of family gatherings, the laughter, and the delicious mooncakes they used to share. Eager to make the trip special, Quan decided to prepare some gifts for his family. He bought beautiful lanterns, a box of premium mooncakes, and a few bottles of fine wine from the city. Each item was chosen with care, reflecting his love and appreciation for his family. As he packed his bags, he felt a rush of excitement, imagining the smiles on their faces when he arrived. The journey back to his hometown was filled with anticipation. As he drove through the familiar roads, memories flooded back, playing in the fields, climbing trees, and the simple joys of childhood. When he finally reached his brother's home, he was greeted with warm hugs and laughter. The sight of his family gathered together made his heart swell with happiness. As Quan stepped inside, he noticed the changes in his brother's home. The once modest house had been transformed into a cozy and inviting space, filled with decorations for the festival. The family's vineyard business had flourished, and the success was evident in the way they carried themselves. His brother proudly showed him the new wine cellar, filled with bottles of their finest wines, a testament to their hard work and dedication. The evening was filled with joy as they shared stories, enjoyed the moonlit sky, and savored the delicious food prepared for the festival. Quan felt a deep sense of belonging and gratitude. The laughter of his family, the aroma of the food, and the beauty of the moon made him realize how much he had missed these moments. It was a reminder that no matter where life took him, home would always be a place of love and connection. As the festival came to a close, Quan knew that this unexpected turning point had rekindled his bond with his family. He left the countryside with a heart full of memories and a promise to return more often. The Mid-Autumn Festival had not only brought him back home, but had also reminded him of the importance of family and the joy of celebrating together. Quan sat quietly in the living room, the soft light of the afternoon sun filtering through the curtains. His heart felt heavy with worry about the future. The thought of moving into a nursing home had been haunting him, filling him with fear and sadness. Just then, his younger brother, who had always been a source of strength for him, stepped closer. With a gentle smile, he placed a reassuring hand on Quan's shoulder. "You don't have to worry about that, Quan," he said softly. "I promise you, you will never have to move into a nursing home. We're family, and we will take care of you." His brother's words wrapped around Quan like a warm blanket, easing the tightness in his chest. At that moment, Quan's eldest nephew, who had grown up watching his uncle care for him with love and kindness, stepped forward. "Uncle Quan," he said, his voice steady and sincere, "I want you to know that I will be there for you. You've always been there for me, and now it's my turn to take care of you." Tears welled up in Quan's eyes as he listened to the heartfelt promises from his family. He felt a wave of relief wash over him, as if a heavy burden had been lifted. The fear of loneliness and abandonment began to fade, replaced by a deep sense of belonging. As he looked at the faces of his brother and nephew, he realized that he was not alone. The love and support they offered filled him with gratitude. Quan wiped away his tears, feeling a warmth in his heart that he hadn't felt in a long time. He knew that he had a place to belong, surrounded by those who cared for him deeply. In that emotional moment, Quan understood that family was not just about blood. It was about love, commitment, and the promise to stand by one another through thick and thin. Quan's transition to life at his younger brother's house was like stepping into a warm embrace. The moment he arrived, he felt the love that filled the home. His brother's family welcomed him with open arms, their smiles brightening the room. They shared meals together, laughter echoing through the walls. And the simple joy of being together made Quan feel alive again. In the village, life was well organized and peaceful. The days followed a gentle rhythm, with neighbors greeting each other and children playing outside. Quan found comfort in the familiar sights and sounds, a stark contrast to his lonely city life, where he often felt lost among the crowds. Here, he could hear the birds singing and see the stars shining brightly at night, something he had missed in the city's bright lights. Reconnecting with childhood friends brought him immense joy. They would gather in the evenings, sharing stories and reminiscing about their adventures. The laughter they shared reminded him of simpler times, filling his heart with happiness. It was a feeling he had longed for, a sense of belonging that had been missing in his busy city life. The love and attention from his brother's family wrapped around him like a warm blanket. They cared for him in ways he had not experienced in a long time, asking about his day and making sure he felt at home. This nurturing environment brought him peace and comfort, allowing him to relax and enjoy life again. Each day felt brighter, filled with hope and happiness. As he embraced this new chapter surrounded by love, Quan sat quietly in his living room, the weight of his thoughts heavy on his heart. He had been thinking a lot about his future and the care he would need as he grew older. It was not just about his health. It was also about ensuring that his family would be there for him, both emotionally and practically. He knew he had to take steps to secure his future, and that meant making some difficult decisions. One afternoon, he called his sister-in-law, Lynn, to come over. He had been thinking about how much she had always supported him and his family. When she arrived, he felt a mix of nervousness and relief. He wanted to share something important with her. As they sat together, he took a deep breath and handed her his bank card, which held over 100 million dong, along with the details of his pension plan. This was not just a financial transaction. It was a moment filled with trust and vulnerability. Lynn looked at him, surprised and a little overwhelmed. "Are you sure about this?" she asked, her voice soft but steady. Quan nodded, feeling a sense of calm wash over him. He explained that he wanted her to manage his finances, to ensure that he would have the care he needed in the years to come. He wanted to make sure that his money would be used wisely, and he believed she was the right person for the job. As he spoke, he could see the emotions in Lynn's eyes. She understood the weight of what he was asking. This act of handing over his financial security was not just about money. It was about deepening their bond as a family. It showed that he trusted her completely, and in that moment, they both felt a stronger connection. Lynn promised to take care of everything, and Quan felt a wave of relief. He knew he had made the right choice. This moment brought them closer together. Lynn felt a renewed sense of responsibility and devotion toward Quan. She knew that he was counting on her, and that made her want to be there for him even more. They talked about his needs and how they could work together to ensure he would be comfortable and cared for in the future. It was a conversation filled with love and understanding, and it strengthened their family ties. In the days that followed, Quan felt lighter. He had taken a significant step toward securing his future, and he knew he was not alone. With Lynn by his side, he felt a sense of hope and comfort. They were a family, and together they would face whatever challenges lay ahead. Quan found a new rhythm in his life, filled with simple joys that warmed his heart. Whenever he felt unwell, his eldest nephew was always there, ready to help. He would rush over, bringing medicine and checking in on him, making sure Quan was comfortable. This care made Quan feel cherished and reminded him that he was not alone. His niece-in-law added to this warmth with her cooking. She prepared meals with love, filling the house with delicious smells. Each dish was made with care, and Quan could taste the affection in every bite. Whether it was a hearty soup or a sweet dessert, these meals brought him comfort and happiness, making him feel like part of a family that truly cared for him. Playing with his grandnephew was another source of joy. The little boy had a bright smile that could light up any room. They would spend hours together, playing games and laughing. Quan loved watching the boy's imagination run wild, and in those moments he felt young again. The laughter they shared filled the house with a sense of joy that was hard to describe. These everyday moments, filled with love and laughter, filled Quan with gratitude. He realized how lucky he was to have such a caring family around him. Each small act of kindness, whether it was a warm meal, a helping hand, or a playful moment, added to his happiness. In this new life, Quan found a deep sense of belonging and joy that made each day brighter. Quan sat quietly in his living room, looking out at the city skyline that had been his home for so many years. The bustling streets below were filled with memories, laughter, and moments that shaped his life. Yet, as he thought about the future, he felt a deep sense of peace in his decision to transfer his house to his eldest nephew. It was not just a house. It was a gift of love, a way to ensure that the next generation would have a place to call their own. He reflected on the importance of family and the connections that bind them together. Material possessions, he realized, were fleeting. The house, with its walls that had seen countless family gatherings, was just a structure. What truly mattered were the relationships he had built over the years, the laughter shared during holidays, the support given during tough times, and the love that flowed freely among them were the treasures he cherished most. As he thought about his nephew, he felt a warmth in his heart. He remembered the boy as a child, full of dreams and curiosity. Now, as a young man, he was ready to take on the world. By giving him the house, Quan was not just passing on a piece of property, he was passing on a legacy of love and connection. He hoped that his nephew would fill the home with new memories, laughter, and joy, just as he had done. In that moment, Quan felt fulfilled. The act of giving back to his family brought him a happiness that wealth could never provide. He understood that true richness comes from the bonds we create and the love we share. As he closed his eyes, he envisioned future family gatherings in the house, filled with the sounds of laughter and love. It was a beautiful thought, one that made his heart swell with joy. In the end, Quan knew that his decision was not just about a house. It was about nurturing the roots of family and ensuring that love would continue to grow for generations to come. He smiled, feeling grateful for the life he had lived and the family he had built. As we reflect on Quan's story, we are reminded of the profound truth that the most important treasures in life are often found in the love of family and the simple joys that surround us. Quan's journey teaches us that it is not the grand achievements or material possessions that bring us lasting happiness, but rather the moments spent with those we cherish. The laughter shared over a meal, the warmth of a hug, and the comfort of knowing that we are not alone in this world are what truly enrich our lives. In a fast-paced world that often pulls us in many directions, it is essential to pause and appreciate the relationships that give our lives meaning. The love of family and friends is a source of strength and joy that can carry us through even the toughest times. Let us take a moment to recognize the beauty in these connections and the simple pleasures that fill our days. As you think about Kwan's story, consider what you have learned about the value of your own relationships. How can you nurture these bonds and create more moments of joy in your life? Reflect on the love that surrounds you and how it shapes your happiness and purpose. Thank you so much for joining us for that insightful discussion. We've explored some fascinating ideas, and now, as we wrap up that main content, let's take a moment to reflect on something equally important: the relationships we cultivate with our neighbors and relatives. These connections can profoundly influence our peace and happiness, especially as we navigate the later years of our lives. Being intentional about these relationships is crucial. It's not just about having people around us. It's about nurturing bonds that uplift and support our well-being. In the next segment, we'll delve into the types of relationships that can enrich our lives. Whether it's the friendly neighbor next door or the family member we cherish, we'll also share some practical tips on how to foster these connections and protect your happiness. So, stay with us as we explore how to create a supportive network that enhances your life. The nosy neighbor is a character that many people can recognize, often embodying a mix of curiosity and overstepping boundaries. This person seems to have an uncanny ability to know everything that happens in the neighborhood, often without anyone inviting them into the conversation. They might stand by their window, peering out with a watchful eye, or casually stroll by your house, making it clear they are taking mental notes of your comings and goings. Their presence can feel like a shadow, always lurking just a little too close for comfort. One of the most striking characteristics of a nosy neighbor is their tendency to invade personal space. They might drop by unannounced, claiming they were just in the area, and then proceed to ask questions that feel far too personal. "How's your job going? I heard you were working late last week. Everything okay?" Such inquiries can make you feel like your life is an open book, with pages being flipped through without your permission. They often blur the lines of conversation, turning casual chats into interrogations that leave you feeling exposed and uneasy. Their knack for sharing gossip is another hallmark of their behavior. They might approach you with a conspiratorial tone, eager to share the latest neighborhood scoop. "Did you hear about the Smiths? I saw them arguing the other day. I wonder what that was about." This kind of talk can create a web of anxiety as you start to wonder what they might be saying about you when you're not around. The nosy neighbor thrives on this exchange of information, often using it to feel connected while simultaneously making others feel vulnerable. As people grow older, the need for privacy often becomes more pronounced. The nosy neighbor can disrupt this peace, leading to discomfort and anxiety. When you've spent years cultivating a safe, stress-free home environment, the constant prying can feel like an invasion of your sanctuary. You might find yourself second-guessing your actions, worrying about how they will be interpreted or shared. This can lead to a sense of unease that lingers, making it hard to relax in your own space. Establishing boundaries becomes crucial in dealing with a nosy neighbor. It's important to communicate clearly about what is acceptable and what is not. A simple, polite response can sometimes help to redirect their curiosity. For instance, if they ask about your personal life, you might say, "I appreciate your concern, but I prefer to keep some things private." This can help reinforce the idea that while you may be friendly, there are limits to what you are willing to share. In the end, maintaining a safe and stress-free home environment is essential for your well-being. Everyone deserves a space where they can feel secure and at ease, free from the prying eyes and ears of those who may not respect personal boundaries. The nosy neighbor may be a common figure in many communities, but with clear boundaries and a focus on privacy, it is possible to reclaim your peace. Avoiding a nosy neighbor is crucial for maintaining a sense of peace and comfort in your own home. When someone is constantly peering into your life, it feels as if they are intruding on your personal space, turning your sanctuary into a stage where you are always on display. Imagine sitting in your living room, enjoying a quiet moment with a book or a cup of tea, only to catch a glimpse of your neighbor's eyes watching you from their window. That feeling of being scrutinized can quickly turn a cozy afternoon into a source of anxiety. The behavior of a nosy neighbor invades your privacy in ways that can be both subtle and overt. They might comment on your gardening choices or ask about the guests you have over, making you feel as if your life is an open book for their entertainment. This constant observation disrupts the tranquility that should come with being at home. Instead of feeling relaxed, you may find yourself second-guessing your actions, worrying about how they might interpret your choices. The simple act of enjoying a weekend barbecue can morph into a performance, where you feel the weight of their judgment hanging in the air like a thick fog. This scrutiny can create a sense of self-consciousness that lingers long after the encounter. You might start to feel like you are living under a microscope, where every laugh, every conversation, and every moment of joy is subject to their analysis. The emotional toll of this can be significant. Anxiety creeps in as you begin to anticipate their reactions, and paranoia can take root, making you question whether they are discussing your life with others. The home, which should be a place of refuge, can start to feel more like a prison, where the walls close in and the outside world feels hostile. To protect your peace, consider ways to create barriers that shield your home from prying eyes. Simple changes, like adding curtains or planting tall hedges, can help restore a sense of privacy. Engaging in activities that draw your focus away from the neighbor's gaze can also be beneficial, whether it's immersing yourself in a hobby or spending time with loved ones. These moments can help you reclaim your sanctuary. Ultimately, avoiding a nosy neighbor is about preserving the comfort and safety of your home. It's about ensuring that your space remains a haven where you can be yourself without fear of judgment. By taking steps to protect your peace, you can reclaim the tranquility that is rightfully yours, allowing you to enjoy your home as it was meant to be. Your personal retreat from the world. Living next to an argumentative neighbor can turn the simple act of enjoying your home into a daily challenge. This type of neighbor seems to thrive on confrontation, often finding reasons to engage in disputes over the smallest issues, whether it's a disagreement about property lines, noise levels, or the color of your house. They have a knack for turning trivial matters into major conflicts. Their confrontational nature often spills over into community meetings, where they escalate discussions into heated arguments. Instead of fostering a sense of community, they stir up tension, making it difficult for others to express their opinions without fear of backlash. Their loud voice and strong opinions can drown out the more peaceful voices, leaving many residents feeling frustrated and exhausted. The emotional burden of dealing with such a neighbor can be overwhelming. Constant disputes create an atmosphere of stress and anxiety, disrupting the peace that many hope to find in their later years. Instead of enjoying quiet evenings or friendly chats over the fence, residents find themselves on edge, anticipating the next confrontation. This ongoing conflict can wear down even the most patient individuals, leading to feelings of isolation and helplessness. In the end, the desire for a harmonious neighborhood is overshadowed by the presence of the argumentative neighbor. Their behavior not only affects individual households, but also ripples through the entire community, making it hard for everyone to feel at ease in their own homes. The hope for a peaceful coexistence becomes a distant dream, replaced by the reality of constant disputes and unresolved tensions. Avoiding an argumentative neighbor is crucial for maintaining good mental and emotional health. When someone is constantly confrontational, it creates a stressful and toxic atmosphere that can weigh heavily on those around them. Living near a person who often argues or creates conflict can lead to feelings of anxiety and mental fatigue. This kind of environment makes it hard to relax and enjoy your home, which should be a safe haven. As people age, the need for a peaceful living space becomes even more important. Stress can take a toll on both physical and mental health, and being surrounded by negativity can make it difficult to focus on self-care. A calm home allows individuals to recharge, reflect, and engage in activities that promote well-being.